What up, YouTube? It's your boy, It's Carter TV, and I'm back with another crazy story. This crazy story is regarding to somebody my mom used to date. She used to date this one dude when I was about, I want to say, 13, a while back. And the reason why I'm telling this story now because we was just talking about him the other night, and you know, on social media, um, his relationship is just it's a shambles right now, or whatever the case. And I'm gonna tell you why he's in shambles. When I was 13 years old, my mother met this guy named Joshua. Um, she met him when I was in the barbershop. We was in the barbershop. I was getting a cut, and he was in the shop too. He was getting a cut, and I was in the chair getting my cut from one of the dudes. My mother was talking to, but wasn't on that type of time. But the dude, she was just flirting with him from time to time to get my cut, or maybe get my cut for the low. I don't know what their situation was, but every time I went to the shop, boy asked for me. So I was just, boy asked for her. So the dude, Joshua, my mother was in the chair watching me get my cut and all that. Dude was cutting my hair, and boy approached my mom's. Approached her, they chopping it up while I'm getting my whole cut and all that. And then when my cut was done, he was still trying to talk to her on the way out the door. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I'll give you a ride and all this and all that, and you gotta go. Like, he was really, trying to pursue my moms and shit like that. At the time, there wasn't no social media. So to really run down on a chick, you gotta really get the number. You gotta really try to get her home to see where she lives so you could pull up on her. Niggas had to go that distance compared to nowadays. So, my mother gave up her number. I guess she was trying to see where it was going to go. She gave up the number, whatever the situation was. And I guess boy was calling, right? She didn't give up the cell number. She gave up the house number. So I'm like, why you give up the house number? You could have gave that man your cell phone number. We don't want you calling the crib. I'm like, Mom, why you gave that man the house number? She's like, because I ain't going to never pick it up. Like, she was just like, I don't know, I'm testing the waters a little bit. Like, I ain't gonna really pick it up like that. Like, I'm like, I'm saying to myself, if you don't really like him, why you to take it that far? But as we walking off, boy jumped to his V and he peeled off, and now we seeing what car he in. I'm like, oh, he got a nice car. She like, he do. Mind you, we walking. You know what I'm saying? We walking. So that ride would have been nice. But it was the summertime, so it was a good walk. You feel me? A few days later, I was outside. My cousins had came over to my crib, and I was outside. My mother was outside, and she went upstairs for a few seconds. And as she was upstairs, the house phone was ringing. Boy was calling, and at the time, caller ID was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the 90s, if you had a house phone, you had caller ID. That shit was everything. You feel me? Like, caller ID was this shit. Because if the school calling, if your homeboys or your girlfriend was calling on that phone, you can get through your moms or your pops before you could. You was good money. So, at the time, I lived in the projects. You know what I'm saying? So, we had two house phones. My mother had one in her room, and we had one by the kitchen. So when you walk in the apartment, the kitchen is like on your right side, and then you see the house phone right there. So I guess she went upstairs to use the bathroom or whatever the situation was. And as she's walking out the crib, the house phone ring. She picked it up. It was like, hello. And he was like, yo, this is Josh. I finally got a hold of you. They chopped it up for a good 20 minutes. And she was like, well, I'm in my neighborhood. Come over and chop it up or whatever. So boy pulled up to the hood. You feel me? My mom's was outside, and she was sitting with a couple girls, a couple of the girls in the neighborhood that she was cool with. And he came over there on some calm. He introduced himself, and he was sitting amongst the ladies. Plus, it was another dude over there. So it wasn't just an all-girl section. You know what I'm saying? So I'm playing around, with my friends, whatever I was doing. And the conversation as I came back over, it was about sex and shit. So it was about sex. So I was about to come over there and my mother like, yo, mom, I'm hungry. You buy me some food. And I get caught up in the conversation. I'm looking like, they talking about sex? What's sex? Like, because at 13, you don't really know too much about sex. You just know about kissing and hugging and all that. You don't really know too much. If you knew about sex at 13, then, hey, blessings to you. But me, at that age of 13, I wasn't thinking about sex. I was thinking about being outside and getting the latest toy or the latest game or the latest, Jordans and shit like that. That's what I was thinking about at the time. I wasn't thinking about no sex. I was thinking about girls, but I wasn't thinking about fucking them. You know what I'm saying? So they talking about sex, and I'm like, and I'm hearing my mother like, yeah, the dude gotta have a big dick. And it kind of stung me when she said that. I was like, what? Wow, what you talking about? So her friends is laughing. They looking at me. It's like, what y'all talking about? And my mother like, yeah, the boy got to know how to eat pussy. He got to know how to eat pussy in all types of ways because I like my pussy ate. And I'm like, yo, what did I walk into for my virgin ears? Like, what's good? Like, so my homeboys was coming behind me. They like, yo, bro, you coming with us to the store? My mother like, what happened? What you want? I'm like, yo, mom, let me get like $5. I'll go get something to eat. She like, these kids always want something. So her friend go, you ain't hear that, right? I heard it loud and clear. She said, yeah, you heard it. Like, how you think you got here? Your father used to eat a lot of pussy. I said, wait a minute. Let's rewind. We're not talking about him right now. We're not doing that. We talking about you. We ain't got to put him in this. So they always laughing and giggling. She was like, that's my oldest son. And I met boy. Boy was like, what's up? Whatever. So they talking about sex and all that. And homeboy was like, yeah, I like my dick sucked. I like my balls ate. And he said some such shit that kind of threw me. When he said it, I instantly left. He was like, yeah, I like my booty licked sometimes. Gotta go. So my mans and them heard that, and they was like, one of my mans was like, yo, boy, what he said, boy? Nah, boy, what he said, boy? Like, so I'm like, boy, I don't want to get into it. Let's just go. Like, let's just go. You know what I'm saying? So after that small talk, they went out on a couple dates and shit. I had a little brother at the time. I ain't have my third brother. I had a second brother. So when they was going out on dates and shit, it was just me and my little brother at the crib. It was just us chilling, waiting for her to come back home. And, they went on a few dates and they got into a relationship over time. Let's fast forward 3 years. I'm 16. And, they still dating or whatever the situation is, right? They still dating and, they having their relationships, whatever you want to call it. This, one bottle of spray, it's water. So they having their relationship or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They ins and outs. And, now this is the time I'm looking at girls and I want to do something to them. You know what I'm saying? I want to do something to them. I'm looking at breasts. I'm looking at ass. I'm looking at booties. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the prints between them legs and them leggings. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, this is where shit started to really take a toll. And I started to see certain shit about boy that made me question him a little bit, right? So, around, I want to say July. It's the early summertime. No, not the early summertime. It's the midsummer, July 4th. One of my favorite holidays. It pulls up, and boy pulls up to the crib, whatever. He pulled up to the crib with a case full of fireworks. And, in the hood, fireworks was a shit. If you had fireworks, you was that nigga for the day. Like, oh, you had the fireworks, you lit, So I'm like, boy pulled up with the fireworks, whatever the situation is. My cousins was at the crib at the time. A lot of my cousins was there at the time too. So we was lit this 4th of July. We had the fireworks, and the neighborhood was doing their little cookouts. You know what I'm saying? So a couple families was doing little cookouts. So we was eating good. Fireworks, and boy pulled up the case. Boom. So my mother started to introduce him as a man and shit. So, all right, cool. So Josh pulled up, he's like, yo, what's good, little man? I'm like, nigga, I ain't little, nigga. And then he was like, yo, I heard you like football and shit, you know. Da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, we about to get a game. We about to get a game and all that. So he like, yeah, can I get in? Can I get in? Can I get in? Right? So niggas like, all right, cool. Cool. Like, and all that. So he wanted to get in the game. And niggas like, yo, boy, he nice. Is he nice? Like, what's word on him? Because, you know, when you play basketball or football, niggas always got to ask, is you nice? Like, he nice? Like, what position he going to play? QB? Like, so he wanted to play quarterback. Cool. So he like, damn. He getting into the mode. He like, damn, this is street football. We don't do that down shit. So he telling me, come over here, get down. I'm like, nah, nigga, it don't work like that over here. We don't do that. This street ball, nigga. This ain't. Tell boy to hike it to you. He like, oh, y'all do it that way, that way. So I'm like, yeah. He like, oh, I thought you get down. Nah, this ain't. We ain't got shoulder pads. We ain't got the helmet. We ain't doing that all over here, nigga. So he like, all right. Boy was trash. I'm gonna tell you right now, boy was trash. Terrible. LTA, bro. He was a no. He threw 3 picks, bro. He threw 3 picks. Niggas was really getting like, and he ain't throw them like, oh, I threw him and it was like a missed pass. No, he threw him like he literally threw him to the next team. Like, and he kind of was looking at us like, yo, my bad. Nah, bro, we switching QBs, bro. We switch. You making me look bad because I put you onto the team. Like, you got a no. So we switched him out and the game went on. This where boy got sus for me. When we was playing, he was trying to tag niggas. Mind you, we playing 2-hand touch. He was trying to tag niggas and grope them at the same time. So like, he would like put one hand out and have the other hand come around. He did that to like 3 different little niggas. Like, and niggas is like, yo, boy, watch your hands, bro. You almost touched my dick, boy. Like, he like, oh, my bad. He did it to another nigga, but he touched his butt and he had his fingers like this and he cuffed it. So boy was like, yo, bro, like, yo, like, your hands, boy, your shit tried to go in my booty hole. Like, that's the second person he did that to. Mind you, we playing football. You ain't got to do too much. We playing 2-hand touch. All you got to do is tap the nigga, son. Just, boop. He was doing the extra. So the last nigga he did it to one of the, you know, the niggas in the hood. Boy hooked him. I don't play that gay shit, boy. So the crowd was like, yo, chill. Like, yo, chill. Like, yo, chill. Like, he like, my bad. I'm thinking this you know, this football. Like, he's like, yo, bro, like, you groping niggas, bro. Like, you gotta go. Like, we ain't doing all that over here. Like, you gotta go, boy. Like, right? So they basically kicked him off the team. And my mother was like, yo, what happened over there? Like, yo, ma, like, I'm looking at like, yo, is your man's like gay or something? She like, not to my knowledge, why? He was over there groping, dude. He was over there groping niggas. Like, he was over there grabbing niggas by the balls, cuffing niggas in their booty and all that. Like, one of them punched him in his face. She was like, oh, no wonder why he came over there. Like, yo, they really had me have it. Like, so that was the first time red flag that I ignored. You know, when I told my mother about it, she kind of brushed it off too. Like, maybe it's football. So that's what I'm thinking. It's football. He may have, you know, made a mistake a few times. But 3 times, bro, like, I don't know. So the second time it was started to get sus for boys when my mom's was at work and he was in the crib by himself. And he was in a room with the door closed. And me and my brother had just came in the crib. I forgot what we had came in the crib for, but we had came in the crib. I was looking for something and he was using the bathroom. So we instantly thought my mother came home from work. She in the room with boy. The TV type loud. And we hear sexual noise. Like we hear moaning and shit like, But it wasn't a feminine moan. It wasn't like a girly moan. It was more like a like one of those. So maybe boy in there probably masturbating or whatever the situation is. So my brother like, yo, you hear that? I'm like, that's probably mommy or something getting crazy in there. Because, at the time, my mother was sexing. So it is what it is. So we like, nah, that. So we hear him coming to the door now, scruffling with it. We hear him coming to the door, scruffling with it. So we skated. My brother ran towards the kitchen way, like towards the living room way, and he cut towards the living room, and I ran in the bedroom, acting like I was looking in my drawer. Boy came out the bath, and he went straight in the bathroom. Right? He went straight in the bathroom. He ain't say nothing. He just went in there and closed the door. So I come out the room after seeing him go in the bathroom, and the door was slightly cracked open, so I kind of linked into it to see if my mother was in there, pornos on. And this man is in there watching gay porn. Like, he's watching male porn. And what made me know it was gay porn is it was two dudes. Like, and he come out the bathroom, he like, oh, hey, yo, what's good? Like, I jump back instantly, like, yo, you good? Like, he like, oh, I'm watching a movie, and it's called Brokeback Mountain. He tried to throw the loop. I'm watching a movie called Brokeback Mountain. Mind you, it's two dudes going ham on each other, like. And I'm like, I'm just looking at him like, so my brother like, what happened? So he instantly closed the door. It was like, nothing, man. We good, right? We good. Like, he was jumpy about the situation. I'm watching a movie, whatever. And like 2 minutes, like, still thinking about the shit, like, this man gay, like, he go in the room, and I guess he, like, continued to watch it, I want to say, because he kind of turned the TV down there. And then we hear my mom's coming in the crib, and then you hear him turn the shit off. So I'm like, so my mom's like, what happened? I brushed it off. I ain't say nothing to my mother about it. So I'm like, nothing. She's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah. I'm good. I'm gonna just go back outside. All right. She like, what happened? I'm gonna just go back outside. We gonna go back outside. And we did. So my mother go in the room, and I guess he getting to fill up on her and get her in the mood or whatever the situation was. And he ended up knocking her boots. And that was a red flag I should have caught on right then and there. Now, the final flag was when my mother found out. You feel me? My mom's found out about boy. And she found out about boy because he was on the phone. And mind you, when the times, the 3 years they was together, boy never used a house phone. You know what I'm saying? He was always on his cell phone when he was talking to people. So this one particular time, it had to be about 11 at night, and boy's on the house phone. It's 11 at night. My mom's in the room sleeping, and boy on the house phone. And he's on the house phone by the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting in the living room, house phone right there. So he's sitting like right where he could just hang it right back up, and he's on it. So I just happened to come out the room and go to the bathroom. Mind you, it's still summertime. I just happened to come out the room, use the bathroom type situation. And my mother was sitting in the dark. At first, I thought she was asleep. But she's sitting in the dark. And how I know she was sitting in the dark, because when I walked past the room, so I was about to go get a drink or something. I walked past the room, and you know that red light on your caller ID that you could see? I could see it at first, and then when it rocked, like I seen like a shadow rock back, and then I ain't see it no more. So I kind of stopped and looked. And then my mother was like waving to me in the shadows. She like waving to me. So I'm like, so she whispered, come here. So I go in the room. I'm like, huh? She like, yeah, come here. So boy in there with the TV loud, and he's on the phone jonesing. So she like, come here. Shh. So she's like, she picked up the phone to listen in and see who he talking to, because he was out there on that phone for like a good hour, I'm assuming. And she hear another female voice on the line. So she instantly thought boy caught him. He could have been cheating. Could have been a regular female. And the conversation they was having was pretty suspect. She like, you know, the girl like, you like when I lick your ass and put my fingers in it? And he like, yeah, I like that. I love that shit. Yeah, I like when you jingle my balls too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm. Then boy was like, so when you gonna do me? You know, I'm always doing you. Like, so I'm looking at my mom, what do you mean? I'm whispering, what do you mean by do her? Do him? Like, so my mom was like, I don't know. So we still listening in. And they made plan to link up. So boy was like, I'm gonna link you. I'm gonna link you. I'm gonna, you know, get away and shit, get away and shit. So my mother thought they was hanging, he thought she was hanging up, so she hung up the phone. So she was like, Now, the thing with my mother is, whenever she felt like she was either getting played or something was going on, she never showed it on her face, especially to us, to her sons. You know, I guess she never wanted us to see that side of her. You know what I'm saying? So we never saw it, but you could always see it. You know, when something wrong with your parents, you could always see it. Like, all right, we know what's up. Like, you good? Like, you see it in your face. My mother was the type of person, she didn't show it. You know, maybe further down the line she'll talk about it, but right then and there or a few days, you wouldn't have noticed. So boy made time. Now my mother hung up the phone a little too fast, because boy was still on it and he was making plans. When and where, and So that right there alone was a flag to her, but it wasn't registering to me what was actually going on, because I'm like, boy, a move or something? He like his booty lick? I'm thinking he just gay. Like, I ain't thinking he, you know what I mean? Like that. Like, I'm thinking he just regularly probably, maybe bisexual. I don't want to say he gay. I just want to say he's maybe bisexual. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time he was dating my mom's, and at the time, I don't know what else he could have been doing on his other side. So I guess boy made the time at the crib. You know, so summertime, he might be like, I can go outside or whatever. Like, so my mom was at work, and my mom's fake like she went to work. So she was like, fake went to work. And how I knew she fake went to work, because I called her like, yo, mom. And she instantly picked up. She like, what's up? Yo, we go outside? Like, yeah, I go outside. Hey. Josh in the crib? We like, yeah, he still asleep. Oh, all right. So me and my brother, we go outside. Whatever the situation is, we go outside. And, we running around. About 2 hours pass. I run into my mother outside the building, and she's sitting in her car, right? Josh comes outside. You know what I mean? He come outside. People he know, he dabbing him up. What's good? He having a few small conversations. And he see me, he like, yo, come here. Talk to you. Like, where your mother at? I've been trying to call her and all that. She at work, bro. He like, oh, all right. What time she get off? Now, right then and there, that was a flag to me. Like, boy, you know what time she get off. I'm like, nigga, you know what time she get off the regular time. Oh, like 4 or 5-ish. Yeah, and then mind you, it's about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. His cell phone rang. Hello? Yo. He say what he say. So as he, on the phone, all right, bro, all right. He dip off. He like, pull up. I guess the person must have been in front of the building. So I'm watching, going to the front of the building, and I see the girl, right? At first, they dip out. They go out front of the building. I guess they go to the store, whatever. As I see him, they go to the store. They come back. Now, through this whole time, my mom's is sitting outside in her car parked. He don't even see her. He coming back this way. So I dip. I see them coming back. I dip. I run, right? I'm like, the hell going on? What's going on? My man's like, yo, what's good, bro? What happened? I just seen the nigga my mom's talking to with some other girl. They like, where we at? In the lobby. So my man's coming. We run up. We looking. Mind you, we like 16, 17 at the time. And we looking like. So one of my man's like, yo, bro. That look like a nigga. In a wig, son. So I'm like, you sure? Now, at this time, I couldn't identify. I couldn't tell whether it was a tranny it was a dude. At this time, I couldn't tell. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not really, you know what I mean? I didn't know about transgenders at this time. Let me just say that. I didn't know much about transgenders at this time. So I really couldn't identify whether that was a male or a female. Let me correct myself. I couldn't determine whether that was a male or female. But my mans in them was like, yo, bro, that's a dude, boy. So he like, you sure, boy? You sure, boy? Now, the couple of niggas in the hood looking too. They looking at me. They like, yo, bro, ain't that shit? Now, boy was bold enough to bring shorty around. I'm still identifying her as a female because she's dressed like a female. You feel me? I didn't know what a transgender was at this time. So they like, that's a dude. So one of the old heads like, yo, that's a tranny. A tranny? What's a tranny? So he like, yo, that's like a dude who want to be a female. You know, they get a sex change. They get everything. They get the breasts and all that. Now the female that I was, you know, identified as a female. She had big breasts, like them big perky breasts. Like he like, yo, she and the old head like she was like she got them shits done. So I'm like, wow, like that's I'm still puzzled. Like he's like, yo, she probably still got her thing down there. I'm like, nah. So you know, my mans and them, they laughing. I'm puzzled, my nigga. I'm like, this is blasphemous. I am bamboozled. I'm looking like, yo, this is crazy, right? So I guess my mother called one of her friends or somebody, her best friend. And at the time, her best friend lived in the building too. So she called her. She like, girl, where you at? She like, I'm sitting outside my car and I'm watching this motherfucker walk around with this bitch. And I think they went in my house. So her best friend, I guess, they go to meet up. And boy went upstairs. He got her in the crib, and I guess they got it on. About maybe 45 minutes into it, you know, the people in the hood was like, yo, we just seen some mans go upstairs with some thing. He's like, I saw it. I'm going right up there now. So I'm like, the whole hood on timing now. The whole hood is on timing. So my mother get upstairs. She like, go back outside. Go back outside. She didn't want me to see what was about to go down. She had her friend with her. And I think my aunt pulled up at the time. My aunt pulled up. My aunt instantly got over there. You know, she got over there. You feel me? So she got over there. My little cousins came. And they like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. Josh up there with some girl. They keep saying she a tranny. So my aunt was like, a tranny? A tranny? So she automatically knew what it was. And I'm like, why everybody so caught off this tranny shit? Like, what is this tranny shit? And they like, Cuzzo, you ain't never know what a tranny was. I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. I'm puzzled. Like, I never even heard of such thing. Remember, back in those days, tranny wasn't a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Like how it is now. You know what I'm saying? You can identify a tranny or he, or you know, whatever they decide to call themselves. You can tell what they is. You know what I'm saying? You can identify them. Some of them like to be identified as female, knowing that they're still a male because they still have the male parts at the end of the day. So, like I said, at this time, I couldn't tell what a tranny was. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was just, to me, like, what the fuck is a tranny? Like, so my man's and I'm like, what happened, bro? I said, my aunt up there, my mom's friend up there. So we all go up there. You know what I'm saying? My mother banging on the door. Boom, 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 boom. I guess boy ain't hearing it. My mother getting her key. She can't get in the crib. She can't get in the fucking crib. Why you can't? Something's blocking the door. So she like, go downstairs. Cause now I'm peeking around the hallway now to see what's going on. We looking. She like, go downstairs, get on that scaffold, and get in my room. And what? She's pissed. She's on 100. They like, just do what your mother said. Do what your mother said. Go, 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 go. Now, at the time, my hood had the scaffolds. You know how they redoing the building and all that. They had the scaffolds. And where I lived at, I was on the second floor. So the scaffold was like literally right at my window. So climbed up the shit, and the window was open, and my cousins and them coming with me. So one of my cousins peeked, and she looked. My girl cousin peeked. She like, yo, they in there doing it. So I'm like, what? I get up there, and the girl is Hammond boy. Boom, 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 boom. Hammond boy. His ass perked in the air. He get his shit nailed. Boom, boom. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, is that two dudes? So we all looking like, yo, I'm banging on the gun. Yo. The nigga said, oh, shit. The nigga caught himself like, oh, shit. What y'all doing, man? What y'all doing? Nigga, go open the fucking door. My mother at the door, boy. What the fuck is you doing? I'm bugging on boy. Like, the fuck is you doing? He like, your mother at the door. I thought she was at work. Nigga, go open the fucking door. He like, I ain't opening the door. You crazy? I'm like, boy, he locked the window. The nigga was panicking. He locked the window. So one of my cousins ended up getting in the crib. He got in through my bedroom window. And when he got in, he quickly opened the door. I see my mother bust in. Boom. The fuck going on? Da-da-da-da. The trainee is still naked. You out here fucking niggas? The trainee like, first of all, sweetheart, I am a female. So her and my mother started getting it on. Boop, 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 boop. My mother, sister jumped in, and my mother friend jumped in. Boop, boop, boop. They giving the trainee 50. Boop, boop, boop. He trying to break it up. My mother barked on him too. Boom, 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 and started giving him 50. Boop, boop, boop. My mother's sister still beating on the trainee. Boop, boop. They still fighting. The trainee was getting jumped, so she instantly just folded. She was fighting back when it was just my mother, but my aunt throw blows. Boom, boom, and she folded. Woo. So my aunt beating on her. My mother best friend pulled her up like, yo, chill. That's my sister. So now the little cousins and the nephews is trying to break it all up. We trying to break it up like, yo, ma, chill. Just tell him to get out. So she threw boy out the crib in the hallway naked with the tranny. Boop. Threw him out in the street. Boop. Butt ass naked. Then threw his clothes out the window on a scaffold. So she made him have to climb up there and get them shits. Boy, my mother broke down that rest of the day, bro. She broke down, boy. To find out the dude she been dealing with for the past 3 years is having sex with a dude on a DL. And I was just blown by this, bro. I was just like, yo, like, what the fuck did I just witness? The fuck is going on? This is my first encounter with a tranny, a transgender. You know what I'm saying? A dude who still likes to be identified as a woman. You know what I'm saying? All right, you want to be identified as a woman? You going to fight a woman now, and she going to give you 50. Boop, boop. And my mother was just like, we was just blown. As kids, we was all blown by this. Like, let me not say kids. Teenagers, we was just like, yo, that's just crazy. Like, that's crazy. Dude was on the DL the whole time. And now I'm starting to think about a lot of shit he did, like touching niggas when playing football, watching gay porn, and niggas in the hood knew what time it was. When they seen boy running out there, butt ass nigga, they like, oh, it's lit for boy. They seen the train. The trainee jumped in her car. She jumped in her car. Boy went up on that scaffold to get them clothes. He said, fuck that. I'm going to get them clothes, boy. He was getting there nailed, nigga. Boom, boom, boom. Like, I'm just like, yo, my eyes hurt. I just seen a grown-ass man getting a whole thing in his behind. Like, is this for real right now? Is this for real, boy? Josh was on the D. So my aunt was like, Josh was basically on the DL. He was on the down low. He liked to mess with, probably gay dudes or trannies, dudes that look like females. That's probably what his thing was. She said, my mother was like, I should have known. He always asked me to lick his booty, put my finger in there. Like he was giving my mother too many signs that he was like either bisexual or or he was just straight gay. You know, I'm gonna say he's bisexual. I'm not just gonna say he's fully gay, but he was dating my mother and, you know, giving my mother pleasurement. You know what I'm saying? They was having sex or whatever the situation was, but he preferred more of trannies. You know what I'm saying? His thing was trannies. Like he liked to, you know, get his salad tossed. He liked his booty to get clapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, and been times he was watching niggas while they was taking showers, and I ain't feel comfortable with that shit. Like, I said, yo, bro, you ain't gonna be in here. My little brother in here taking a shower. We ain't doing all that. What you doing? Like, you gotta wait. You gotta wait, nigga. What you doing? He like, nah, I'm good. Nah, bro, you gotta wait, bro. Come out. And my mother wasn't fine with that shit either. She was like, nah, you ain't gonna be in that bathroom with my son. You gotta come out. We not doing that. So those are signs that we should have picked up on. But at the time, we didn't know. We wasn't educated on, you know, trannies and transgenders. You know, at the time, we didn't think stuff like that actually was around. You know what I'm saying? 17, 16, yeah, you think about sex, you thinking about girls. You know what I mean? And from a girl point of view, you thinking about dudes. You're not thinking about a whole dude who want to be a female or a whole female that want to be a dude. You're not thinking about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really know. You're not educated enough on that type of shit. So as time went on, I started to learn more about them. I started to understand that they are around, they exist. You know what I'm saying? And they are who they are. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no beef with no gays. I ain't got no beef with no transgenders. I don't want nobody trying to come at me on the comments. I'm just telling you a story from off my experience. You know what I'm saying? And that was my first time encounter with one. And it wasn't a good one because it was a fight and it was involving people's relationships. You know what I'm saying? That shit was just something I wasn't taught about at a younger age, like compared to now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always signs to know if your partner could be gay or on the down low, or, you know, pay attention to the signs. You know what I'm saying? If you one of those dudes on the down low, you know, and you dating women, be truthful to that girl, son. Don't have her run around here with her head chopped off thinking she got a Prince Charming and she actually got a Queen Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Let it be known what you into, because you could really potentially hurt that woman. You know what I'm saying? My mother was hurt for a while dealing with that man. She was really hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that hurt lasted. You know what I'm saying? And around that time, we was moving out the hood. So, you know, the move just helped her focus. But that's my story. It's Carter, baby, and I'm out.
That's crazy, baby.